So yeah, it's happened. Under enormous pressure, every time I go away, every time I go away, people come up to me and say, they say, why camper van Dave? You will always be known as Mons 2. You need to go back to Mons 2. So I'm going back to Mons 2. I find it really funny that people say that. But anyway, I'm going back to Mons 2. Everyone knew me as Mons 2. Everyone knows me as Mons 2. Everyone still calls me Mons 2. So even my mates that have nothing to do with YouTube, nothing to do with van life, call me Mons 2. So I'm going back to it. Anyway, I've made a little video. Check it out. It's good to see you all again. Hello. Let's try a different set of glasses. Hang on. Oh, it's all a bit blurry. Hello, interweb. It has been so long. I know. I haven't made a video for ages. Sort of lost a bit of lost a bit of heart with it, really. But I had nothing interesting to say. Nothing interesting really happened. I've done a few jobs to the van though, so but I hope you're all okay. I saw a few of you at the International Camper Van show back in May, June. That was awesome. That was absolutely brilliant. And of course it was a Queen's Jubilee. But didn't take any real footage of anything. Not been doing any videoing. But I've done a few, the place is so untidy. I've done a few jobs to the van. I put a fake tiles up in the kitchen area. There we go, look. There's a little kitchen area with my fake tiles and me washing up. There you go. Just bought like sheets of them off Amazon, cheap enough. Sanded the wood down. And waterproofed the wood, whacked them on now. Been as good as gold. They've been up for a few months now. So anyway, I wanted to make the video because I bought a couple of things I thought people might be interested in, who specifically have got transits, but not exclusively. As you know, well, you don't know what happened when I was at the International Camper Fan show. I discovered a fatal flaw. There is a fatal flaw with the transits if you've got the 2 battery system. So with the 2 batteries, the front battery is an auxiliary battery. It runs your central lock-in, all your dials, all your lights at the front, all the bits and pieces. That's what that, instrument panel, that's what it controls. And the rear battery under the seat is the starter battery. So I was going out of the van every day at the festival, at the show, centrally locking the van as you do. Went out, come back one night quite late, nothing on the key. Van wouldn't open at all. Could not get it open. So you're supposed to have a key for the driver's door, which I had, but basically it was an aftermarket lock in the door, a high security lock, bear that in mind for later, and the key was knackered, basically, so the key wouldn't work. So central locking wouldn't work, manual door key and the driver's side wouldn't work, couldn't get in the van. So I'm thinking, what's probably happened is the auxiliary battery at the front has probably died and I've got no power for the central locking. So I lift the bonnet, and of course you've got charge point underneath there, or a jump point underneath there. So a load of the guys, Gadget John, Mevy, quite a few others, Wandering Womble, quite a few people all came over to help, which was fantastic. They just came to help. And John put a jump pack on the van and said, you've got full battery. It's fully charged. But what we didn't realise was it only connects to the starter battery. You can't connect to the auxiliary battery from under the bonnet. So you've got no way of charging it. I was locked out of the van all night. The reason I was locked out of the van all night was loads of people offered me, obviously, to stay in their vans or whatever, and people were going to give up their vans to let me stay. But I'd called the AA, and they said it's going to be 3 hours. So I waited. I told everyone else, just go to bed, I'll be all right. Then a storm came. It absolutely chucked it down. I got soaked through to the skin. AA turned up, did all the things that we've already done, and said, sorry, can't help you. And he went. And he wasn't even a proper AA bloke. They do have lock people on call, but it wasn't even a proper AA bloke. It was one of the third-party people they sent. Anyway, it was useless. I was out all night. Anyway, cut a long story short, the next morning, about 8 o'clock in the morning, with the help of some other van dwellers, with Mevy and John and Womble, we managed to get in the van. I'm not going to tell you how, but we managed to get in the van. So this is a fatal flaw with these transits, is that you need that. So I thought I'm going to change the lock. When I got the van back home and everything, I thought I'm going to change the lock in the driver's door. Here's problem number 2. In order to put a new lock in the door, you need to take the old lock out. So to take the old lock out, you need the key. You will not get that lock out without a key, because there's a pin that sits outside the lock. I've got a new lock, hang on a second. I'll show you. This is a fatal flaw for transits. There might be other vans that are the same. So I've ordered, because what I did, as a security measure, I've had deadlocks put on the front. Because then I thought I can go for a real cheap, like £15 traditional fold lock, because it don't matter if they try and get in that, because they still can't get in the door because of the deadlocks. But I thought this will, a new lock will save me. If the battery dies, then I'll be able to get in the manual lock again. So on the side of this, you see it on the side, this little nobule here, right, you push this in and you turn it until this, so you need the key inside, right, and when you turn the key, that pushes in. Yeah, so you turn the key, you spin this round in the lock until this engages in a hole. You take that out and that pin can't move, so this lock can't be pulled out. Now the aftermarket lock is in, it's high security lock, they're like 170 quid or something, high key or whatever they're called. They've got the same pin that locate in the fold housing. I ain't got a key, and so I can't release that pin, so I can't get the lock out. I've called locksmiths right across the country. The aftermarket high security lock that's in there is anti-drill, anti this, anti that, anti-nuclear bomb. You cannot drill that lock out. Can't be drilled out. So that old lock cannot be removed. So I can't put a new lock in. So what's the alternative? Well, the alternative is to buy a whole new door. So I went on the internet, found loads of fold doors, and they've all got locks in them. So I found a few breakers yards and I phoned them up. I said, oh, you got a Transit Mark 7 driver's door in white? And they went, oh yeah. I said, it's got a lock in it. Yeah. Have you got the key for it? No. back to square one. So if I buy a new door from a breakers, I'm not going to be able to get the lock out. You can't grind it out. You can not without destroying the door. So it's a big problem with Ford Transits. And so if you've got a Ford Mark 7, Mark 6 Transit, you've got a dual batteries under the seat, so on, so on, so on. What I would suggest is don't go for a high security lock that can't be drilled. Put deadlocks on the van, and just use a cheap door lock that can be drilled if you need to. That's probably the way forward. And keep your lock in good condition. And they just stop working. They just seize up through lack of use normally. So if you've got locks, whatever locks you've got on your door at the moment, go and give them a bit of WD-40. Just do that once a week, once every couple of weeks, whatever, just to keep them moving. Put your key in. So that was that malarkey. So I won't be putting a new lock in the door, and I won't be replacing the door. I mean, probably, if I keep searching, I'll probably eventually will find a transit door with no lock in it, and I'll be. But I don't want to be replacing the door. You know, I don't. So I'll just deal with the deadlocks. I'll just deal with that. I've got slam locks on the side and the rear, deadlocks on the front. No one's getting in. That's good enough. So it made me think, well, you know, how would I know? You know, my leisure batteries in the back, they've got like Victron. I've got a Victron Smart Shunt. You know, I know exactly what's in there. I've got indicators all around the place that are telling me what my leisure battery system is, but I've got no way of knowing what my starter battery and my auxiliary battery in the van are doing. So searching the internet, I came across these. It's Quicklynks Battery Monitor 2, and by all accounts they're quite good. So you can put, I'm going to put one of these on the auxiliary battery and one of these on the starter battery, and then with the use of an app you can monitor the battery, set an alarm on there to tell you when it falls below a certain voltage. It will tell you what your alternator's doing, and you can fully monitor, even when you're driving, you can fully monitor what your batteries are doing, and that's got to be the way forward, because I've got no way of knowing at the moment what the, you know, till I go to start the van. Although I've never had a problem starting it. Of course, just having the door open, a side door, or the alarm going, it's all eating away at the auxiliary battery, and if you don't start the van from time to time, you're going to have a problem like me. So I'm going to put these in, download the app, and see how we get on. So just to show you, this is where I had the door off, look, and just try and get the lock. That's the security lock, and yeah, it's a dead loss, that is. So I've got everything apart at the moment. Anyway, back to the battery monitors. In true transit style, I had to take the seat out. Pain in the bloody bum, that is. I've got two new batteries as well. These are brilliant. These are Varta's Silver Dynamic, really good batteries. So I've got them. I had different batteries before. There was a different one in the front to the back. So anyway, I've gone for both the same now, and they seem to be performing really well. So that's the battery setup for for this dual battery transit. So anyway, I've installed the monitor. It's not actually no bigger than a matchbox, and we've got obviously positive, negative to negative. and I should get some Velcro to sort of hold that down. And now what we've got to do is try and download the app. So let's see how we get on. Right, so everything's back together, and I downloaded the app. I've got both batteries connected with individual battery monitors. So we'll click on that, and I've named them. So if I click on Bluetooth devices, I've got auxiliary battery and I've got starter battery. (13.2). Yeah, so it's showing 13.2 in the auxiliary battery because I've got it on charge. So it's up to 13 because I've got it on charging. Step 1, idle condition test. Start engine. Oh, so you can test the battery, although this is not a starter battery, but it would be start engine. You can see that. I'm trying to use two phones. Start engine. Turn off any devices which consume power while in idle. For instance, radio, air conditioning, devices connected to cigarette lighter. Turn on headlights only. There you go, and you can start testing. No data because I've done no trips for the trip meter. Back to the voltage test. Battery okay. And it gives you a graph as well. And the two units together were £37 for the pair, which was actually quite good. Bluetooth device, starter battery, right, starter battery, regular lead acid. So the starter battery is 12.52, it's 86%, battery's okay. So that will need to go on charge soon if I don't start it. But I will be checking, I'll also be checking, sorry if you can't see this very well, it's just that I'm no good with these two camera things. Just trying to give you an idea really. So I've got this is the starter battery one. It's giving me an indication as to the charge and a graph and what it's doing. Cranking voltage, so when you start the battery it'll tell you the cranking voltage. Charging again, start engine, turn off devices and blah 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 blah, and it gives you an idea of your alternator charging. So overall I'm actually very pleased with it. Very easy to fit, cost effective solution to monitoring your starter batteries and your auxiliary batteries. What more can I say? Very happy with it. Obviously you've got to find my way around the app. You can select parameters and things. Right, daily power notification, transmit one time every 9 hours, or you can change that. Normal cranking notification. Power alarm, option 2 parameters. What's that? Can I set that? Because that's it only gives you 2 parameters. So it gives you the power alarm's on, so it gives you one at 70%, and really you want to start thinking about charging it then. So there's one at 70% and one at 20%. Right, firmware update. So I've got the latest firmware update. So no problem with that. Quicklynks. So I'm quite happy with it. Failed to get the latest firmware, but it says it's the latest. Happy days. Here we go. Quicklynks. Find the thing for you. Bluetooth battery monitor 2. Happy days. So there you go, guys. That's it. Battery monitors are in. They're working fine. I'm well pleased with them. If I'd have put Victron ones in there, they're like £200 each. It's a no-brainer. Tells me everything I need to know. Battery condition, battery voltage, charging status, everything. It's brilliant. I even found out something I didn't know before. I wasn't sure because the two batteries are linked, but they're only linked when the motor's running. And I found out that if you put an external charger on one of the batteries, it doesn't charge the other one as well. So you have to charge the two batteries individually if you haven't got the engine started. So I learned something new as well. I didn't know that before, so happy days. I've checked the batteries with a multimeter, and they're very accurate. So what more do you want? It tells you everything you need to know. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. And if you haven't subscribed already, why not? It's free. Don't cost you a penny. I mean it. You ain't got to pay a penny. Click on the subscribe, the like, and thanks for watching. Have a great day. See you all soon. Ta-da.